Hello friends. Hello friends. How are you? I hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss a topics of GS3, and there are three topics in our hand, like government busting, second is infrastructure, and third is investment models. So we will discuss each topic one by one. So first is government busting. So I would like to start with you.
Government busting. I think you
I
should
should
start
okay.
with government
So
busting.
government busting. Basically, government busting under Article 112 of the Constitution, President shall in each financial year cause to lay before each house of the Parliament annual receipt and expenditure. That is called budget, for the government and for that particular year. So this is government budget
For the government of India, है ना?
for the government of India for that particular year.
Yes.
And its advantage benefits are like it bring economic recovery if there is a need of economic recovery. Second, it boosts the economy. And apart from this, the budget have the component of budget that there are two parts, revenue budget and revenue budget and capital budget. Revenue side and capital side. What is this component called? Revenue RB
Recurring RB and CB.
Okay, revenue budget, capital budget. Revenue budget then further has two subpart. Revenue receipt, revenue expenditure. Capital budget have two parts. Like capital has two parts: capital receipt, capital expenditure. Capital is like something which either reduces debt or borrowing in nature. Second, it is once a time. And revenue side is like recurring in nature and no debt creating. And there are certain type of budget also, like balance budget, deficit budget, surplus budget, outcome based budget, zero based budget, or gender busting. Maybe these are not written here.
Yes, these are not written.
Okay. Then there are these are the type of the budget. They are the advantage of the budget. Then there are certain problems in Indian budget. For example, public participation is not there.
And second ARC some issues
some
in the
recommendations
budget, like
policy
poor
formulation.
planning and poor expenditure control.
Poor planning and poor expenditure control. This is the second ARC gives some recommendations on this budget process.
And what are way forwards?
Way forward for budget is like people's participation is needed.
Yes. And reform in financial management system.
Reform in financial management system.
There should be transparency,
simplicity,
medium-term planning. And other than this, use of technology, follow FRBM Act. Okay. Follow FRBM Act. Easy tax regime and focus on output.
Okay. Anything else?
What are the changes introduced in 2017?
Yeah, there are certain changes introduced in 2017, like the date of presentation of budget is preceded to 1 February instead of last working day of February. Second is merger of the railway budget with the annual budget. Third is that doing away with the planning and non-plan expenditures. So now there is a two component, revenue side, capital receipt side. I think there is a one word also ki reference to short notes.
Yes.
So we should also short note because here are key components. We didn't write it there.
Yes.
Yeah. So here are again budget, then budget ka type, and component. Apart from this, what are important thing is here?
Constraint, budget constraint.
Budget. What are the budget
constraint? Nahi, budget contains.
Budget contains.
Budget
content. What it contains? It basically contains annual
estimates
of receipts and expenditure for the upcoming year, and annual receipts and expenditure of the finishing year, closing year, and ways and means of expenditures.
Ways and means to raise
revenue. Ways and means to raise revenue. Apart from this, it contains different taxation policies.
E and financial policy. E and FINC dot policy, like taxation, new project, new scheme, है ना?
Okay. So these are the components.
And objectives of general budget.
Objective of budget is the like social
reallocation of resources,
bringing
down inequality,
reallocation of resources, social welfare, prediction in taxation policies, the new tax policies, tax regime, concessions, and distribution of budget to different ministries, and overall boosting the economic growth, public investment, managing the PSUs, year budget also, etc. These are this.
And RD implications.
Revenue deficit implications.
Yes.
revenue deficit lead to inflation in the country,
Yes.
and it lead to borrowing.
Yes.
It lead to reduction of assets,
Yes.
or it is domino effect it create in
Yeah.
other sectors of the economy also, and public borrowing, public debt increase due to it.
Tax increase.
Tax increases.
Okay. And FRBM Act.
This is the fiscal responsibility and budget management act, which was bring way back at nearly 2003.
Yes.
And it contains target for reducing revenue deficit and fiscal deficit. Fiscal revenue deficit up to 0% revenue deficit by 2007-8, and fiscal deficit by 0.5% per year to up to 3%, reduce it to level of 3% by 2007-8. But at that time, what happened? Economic recession worldwide took place. So due to this, these things need to be postponed. Until since then, even till yet, these are postponed due to several reasons. Last time there were economic reforms brought by the government, farm reforms, and the calamity by the COVID crisis.
Yeah.
So these targets have not met yet. So basically now NDSing committee give recommendation to achieve this target up to 21-22 to 21-22 तक. So there is a target of fiscal deficit up to 3.5%, something like this, and similarly for revenue deficit. But still government revenue and fiscal deficit is near around 4 to 5%, and the revenue to sometimes reach even 6% revenue or fiscal.
Okay.
So these are and this fiscal responsibility budget management also put responsibility on the government to bring mid-term fiscal policy statement, annual policy statement, various kind of to bring the transparency and accountability of the government regarding fiscal policies. But there are certain measures also to reduce revenue deficit, that is like fiscal consolidation, raise revenue, control expenditure in wasteful things. I want to drink water.
Page water, but don't go down. Okay, now.
Go down. Okay.
Okay. So this is finished. This is government busting. Yes, this is finished. Now
your
you
turn.
ask from
Okay,
me
now.
this
Infrastructure.
infrastructure.
Yeah, first you need to tell infrastructure, and it is not like that you will tell all the infrastructure one by one we can do, because there are 4 or 5 subtopics under infrastructure. Road, rail, what are you looking at? Road, everything you are looking. Okay, tell me about the road infrastructure.
Infrastructure. So as per Niti Aayog, India needs about $4.5 trillion investment by 2030 to develop infrastructure in India. And road infrastructure, India has one of the largest road infrastructure in India, more than 6 million kilometer. Okay, so it is just little bit behind the this US. Okay.
China?
China is behind India in terms of length of road infrastructure. Okay, so this is road infrastructure. What are its benefits? It has
How many percentage of passengers and freight traffic passes through
one
it?
more important, it contains 85% of freight passenger and 85% of passenger and 70% of freight. Yes, through it.
Okay.
And about roads are very important because they have importance like economic importance, they have social importance.
So
they
sir,
have,
what is the how?
I am explaining. Thank you. So economic importance, social importance, they have strategic importance. They are important in terms of strategic and connectivity and development. First of economic importance.
No, don't need to go and explain. I thought there was not social. Now I just recall social benefit were also,
Yes,
are also
it
there.
connected.
But point is that you don't have framework. That's why you are taking time to recalling the points.
Okay.
No, it's okay. It's also okay. It's not necessary we should
I
have framework for each thing, because in question,
I think
in paper,
yes.
different question may come. Okay, let's move to the issues.
One more thing, if you have any doubt or if you want to ask anything, you can ask in between also. Sorry, last time I interrupted you. Yes, you were asking something? Yes, I am telling. It has, but Indian roads have some issues also in it, and there are many issues. They can be categorized like economic issues and economic and connectivity issues, geographical issues, and infrastructure issues, and road safety issues. So these are the issues.
Only 3-4 points you have told, but when it comes to writing, if we have 3-4, we will write 2.
Yes.
So we have 10, we will write 6-7.
Okay.
You should be complete framework and just like whoosh, boom,
Boom.
bombardment of funds.
Yes.
You can apply PESTL also, like P stand for governance related to maritime
Oh,
cooperation
governance
between
related. Yes.
central state is not there. Then economic lack of funds, social
Lack of
level,
funds.
like many low density areas don't have proper rural areas, affected
Rehabilitation.
area.
Yes. Yes.
है ना, northeast area they don't have proper social. Then technical, we are still using old technologies that is highly costly. Now new technology is required to make roads using that material, fly ash content, and using geotextiles. Environment related, when road construction lead to lot of deforestation, the forest protection, conservation, these things also need to be curbed. And then the legal aspect, a lot of legal aspect, this geographical connectivity, safety,
Legal then
security.
can be like this Char Dham Mahamarg Pariyojana, which
legal
is
disputes
Uttarakhand, which
under, yes,
came under legal disputes.
yes, for
They
several
stop
years.
India's security as well as tourism.
Okay, so what can be the way forward?
Way forward can be to address this. First of all, governance related issues like jaila, like judicial delay, environmental delay, है ना?
Environment delay नहीं, judicial litigations and environment protests to address these things.
Litigation, environment protest, and basically governance and administrative related reforms. Okay, and other than this, it requires like economic fund availability of fund through PPP model, and social related issue like rehabilitation, है ना? So social, economical, and environmental, and these are the issues. These are way forward.
When you have framework, you can apply and you're not applying.
Safety, use of
PESTL you can apply.
technology.
P for governance, P E for economic, S for social, T for technology and new technology upgradation is required. E for environmental, such roads need to required. E like green expressway type, herbal expressway, such kind of. L for legal dispute resolutions. So for
one more thing in technology, like bypass in this tiger reserve area,
Yes,
they make
yes.
na
Whole flyover,
what
it is
is
called.
it is called
It's
uplifted
roads.
roads. Uplifted road, and double connectivity. Sometimes road and railway track together, like in Arunachal
That thing is
Pradesh.
also there.
Can
Apart
you-
from them, the way forward always use some standard framework so that you can apply as much areas.
As much instead
Like
of
government
just
schemes, like National Highway Development Program, Bharat Mala Pariyojana,
Yes.
government scheme, legislation, Motor Vehicle Act, government being to bring road safety, and world best practices. You can take example if you have, or you can collect. The Sudan roads are good, or American. We are following American standards, or in fuel BS6 engine has come. And then technology upgradation and resolution of JELA. JELA is like everywhere creating problem. Judicial litigation, environmental protest, land acquisition and approvals. So all these things, है ना? So these 4-5 points are which you can maintain universally. Okay, let's move to the next one. Next is here. Why we are
in those something were
here all
pages are there.
Yeah, I brought all pages. No, here are only 3 for. Okay, then maybe 3 for.
Yeah,
Is there anyone?
some pages maybe there. No, here are
This is government busting. Okay, it is finished. Let's rail.
railway. No, you will not take railway.
Why?
I will ask.
Yeah.
Road, railway, these are very easy things. Okay, tell me, railway.
Railway.
Suppose railway infrastructure related.
Rail infrastructure. India has world's 4th largest rail network in the world. World's 4th largest, and there are almost 2.5 crore people move around it railway on daily basis. Move through the railway.
How many?
Around more than 2 crores.
Yes.
People travel through the rail every day. And the advantage of the railway in India is like it is a social welfare tool, and social benefit, it's an economic benefit, it's environment protection, and it's a lead to
How it
development.
is social benefit? How does
Social benefit basically it is a low cost of travel mechanism in India for far long distance
Right,
from
right.
Bihar to especially migrant labor.
Right.
Social benefit, economic benefit, environment benefit also.
How
And
environment friendly?
because it is a tool of traveling which is used by the transportation used by the masses. So when they shift from private vehicle to the public vehicle, so large lot of CO2 emission can be reduced. They are running by the electricity, not petrol and diesel. So environment plus it lead to development wherever railway station will go, and it provides connectivity, and it acts as a strategic tool also.
Yes. Right.
And then there are certain issues in railway in India.
One more thing, like it help in development, reduce logistic
Yes, you are right. Logistic codes.
And safe as compared to roadway. There are do here comparison. It is comparative analysis also. Comparative better as compared to roadway and costly airways. Okay. Got.
Okay. And
now, what are the issues or challenges in Indian railways?
First of all, governance related issues in railway projects implementation, corruption, diversion of fund, various litigation in the courts, environment protest regarding railway lines, manufacturing. So these are government.
You have mentioned nearly 5-6 points within governance. Now give me one example.
Example
of any point.
Okay.
Corruption, governance, anything.
Okay. Like
environment litigation.
There is a bullet train project is going on from Ahmedabad to Mumbai, but on various phases its work has been stopped due to the protest by the farmers and local people, environmentalists. Okay, so economic is like it is not revenue generating source for the government. Still, lot of funds is required for developing infrastructure as well as to running the country. There is a ratio which is called how much for 1 rupee put in railway, investment railway. To generate 1 rupee, government need to spend 1 rupee 20 paise.
Okay.
So, it's a 96% something. It's called a ratio. I'm not able to remember. That's a very good term to use in answer writing.
Okay.
As a data fact. Okay.
Output to input ratio?
No, it's not output to input ratio. It's like
efficient, effective.
Something like 96%.
Okay. Search.
Then economically, it's have a lot of problem.
You have told me economic and governance related and environment related.
And apart from this technology, we need to upgrade to new technology. Old the coaches and old engines, they are highly power consuming. We need to shift to hydrogen fuel and
lightweight.
Okay. And safety and security is issue. This year itself in Odisha, Balasore, more than 200 people had died. And that's all. So
what are way forward?
Way forward is like government schemes need to bring for development. National rail plan by 2030, railway upgradation, Vande Bharat train, innovation need to be taken like in Vande Bharat, and dedicated freight corridor for more modern infrastructure, especially dedicated corridor for the freight train to reduce the logistic cost, and government scheme, policy, and world best practices, and technological upgradation, and resolution of disputes related to the railway.
One important thing which you have not mentioned,
safety and security.
Vivek Devroy committee. It is very pivotal in railway.
Pivotal.
Yes. And other committee can also be used, which is public-private participation.
It's not just about this committee.
Yes.
What are recommendations also very much important.
So its recommendation is, though it is not saying privatization, but to establish a control authority, autonomous controlling authority, under which various to attract more private institution and to invest in this. So that will be a regulating authority, this thing. Second thing, in grade A officers, do overhaul restructuring of grade A officer. Okay, these 1-2 things said. Okay, so railway infrastructure you tell very nicely. You told very nicely. Now ask from me.
Okay, the next topic is ports and shipping.
Ports and shipping. So India has 13 major ports and
I've seen its intro.
No, okay. India has 13 major ports and more than 200 minor ports. So which provide strategic.
Non-major port, you can't say minor port.
Major and minor ports, I think it is.
Major port classification is there. Everything else is non-major ports.
Okay.
It is not necessary that they are minor port. Minor port is like very small minor.
13 major and more than 200.
Around 205.
Non-major ports, which provide strategic advantage for India's to do import export.
Strategic advancement also which provide high opportunity for boosting trade and economic growth of India.
Yes, which provide high opportunity for boosting trade and economic growth of India. So these ports, Indian ports are very important. For example, their importance can be categorized like economic advantages, import, export, trade. Second is their social importance, which provide local communities, fishermen's way of living. Okay, I mean livelihood. So economic, social, and connectivity, tourism, and strategic importance for security of India's boundary, and maritime exercise, and okay, so security and connectivity, strategic, so हो गया.
It's always like when you don't have point, you or anyone, you means general. When someone has not points, so he may write to wrong things. Okay, let's move on. So better than this,
development opportunity है ना, their
social, economic, environment, development, strategic connectivity.
simple, yeah, social, economic, environment, development, strategic connectivity, yes. And what are the issues? There are some issues also in Indian Railway. For example,
It's not railway.
Ports.
Ports.
Okay. First issue is like first of all is governance related. It's administration. Okay. Due to lack of effective governance.
It's really a major issue, but maybe you and me don't have proper information. Right now, recently government bring new bill regarding maintenance and administration of ports, giving them more autonomy. है ना? There is a special council for port management.
Yes.
So we need to read that thing and read between the lines. Yes, to understand proper this. So what is the governance related to? How is the corruption there?
Connectivity, है ना?
Connectivity.
To provide connectivity like rail, road, and port. Their seamless connectivity is integrated connectivity is missing. Okay. And first of all, administration, then economic problem like not having sufficient fund to develop these ports area. Social problem, their local community who is living their rehabilitation for development project. Environment related concerns and biodiversity related it comes under environment as subheading. Okay, and so geographical issues like eastern and western side of India having different geographical features, which led to less development of ports along eastern border due to shallow, due to not steep.
Basically, these are emerging in nature. These are submerging in nature.
Of yes,
कौन सा submerging?
Right side, that is eastern side of India.
Eastern side emerging है.
Emerging है.
Yes, eastern side emerging है और right side जो मुंबई ये गुजरात है ये submerging in nature है. द्वारका यहाँ ध्रुव गई थी ना submerging in nature. ये erosional cost है और depositional cost.
These are the issues, major issues.
Okay. Other than their economic, social, governance, environment, infrastructure, logistics, safety and security. Okay. What are the way forward?
Way forward in this, first of all, Vivek, some committee, what is its name? For PPP, Vijay Kelkar committee recommendation for PPP participation to its development. Basically, Vijay Kelkar committee recommended for PPP, public-private partnership. Yes. Okay. Now use those recommendations to invest
almost in government field project administration related.
It was on PPP, है ना? Okay. Other than this, governance solve JLA and governance and administration related issues. Okay, these can be overhauled, and economic budget allocation for development projects, economic related, and social related problem like rehabilitation and environment related problem solve, and environment related problem and
what environment related problem
like mangroves and coastal fishing.
Basically, in way forward term, so we need to provide some broader perspective related to the solutions, related to the future development, not what prohibitive areas. दो में भी राइट. फॉर एग्जांपल गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स सागरमाला परियोजना और लाइट हाउस प्रोजेक्ट्स है ना, और जलमार्ग विकास प्रोजेक्ट, इनलैंड हाईवे, इनलैंड वाटरवे डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी, गवर्नमेंट स्कीम, गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी है ना, वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट समथिंग लाइक म्यांमार एंड गल्फ ऑफ मन्नार. व्हाट आर दो कॉल्ड? गल्फ ऑफ मन्नार. हां, अच्छा, these are ports, these are not, we are not talking about ocean. The government scheme, government legislation, some policy, or then world best practices, then infrastructure, and then resolution of the dispute. So seamlessly. And okay, and right now you are noticing you need to think when it comes to writing. Definitely you have to think. So this substantiation of these points plus their better flow, that more also need now. Let's move on. But at least better than earlier, maybe.
Better than earlier, just reading,
Reading,
and directly
reading,
come in
reading.
test
Yeah.
and writing,
And
then
then
found
next
yeah,
time.
points are not coming, points are next time और पढ़ूंगा.
Yeah. नहीं, this time what I am suggesting is that read these points with the reference of some standard book or ये. What my point? Better understanding.
Ports and speed. Aviation infrastructure.
India is the world's fourth largest aviation industry, and nearly 666 million people travel annually.
666
million people.
I don't believe.
Don't you check yesterday? Indian passport holder on aviation, they are 666 million. And okay,
and its significance
multiplies in the time of war, calamities,
national security, calamities and disasters.
Yes, we can also say that war. In the war, we can transport.
What are its importance?
Importance is sea seeds, like its social importance, economic those social word may not be there, but economic, environment, or development and connectivity and strategic importance, or plus safety and security purpose is also there. Okay, then there are some problems, issues in this. That problem is that aviation sector is like lack of infrastructure, lack of funds, lack of technology, and lack of skilled manpower like pilots. In India there are around 300 foreign pilots are there, and apart from this check-in time delay in the check-in, and performance issues and airport capabilities, safety and security.
Okay, what are the way forwards?
Way forward for airport, basically government schemes like Udan scheme, so to bring the government, and the various legislation like DGCA, है ना, legislation civil aviation to promote safety and security, and world best practices like development advanced airport to reduce the check-in time, reduce delays, and checking world best practices, and infrastructure development need to be just like Jewar airport, and resolution of the disputes, JLR, like if any airport development, land acquisition, approvals, all these things.
And policy,
clear.
national civil
aviation policy.
You are right here. Information. Okay.
What is the next?
Next is port and shipping of next. Energy.
Power. Coal.
Yes.
Coal or oil?
Oil था ये.
Yeah, it has oil.
ठीक है, oil. Energy, oil.
Which one would you like to tell?
Oil.
Okay.
So India is the third largest importer of the oil, and it imports 85% of its need through, and it is dependent on foreign countries for 85% of its import. So which bring the fragile. Sorry, okay. And what are
India is the third largest consumer
of the.
India is the world's third largest consumer of crude oil, and 85% of its requirement is filled by import, which highlight huge dependency on foreign nation. Although these words we can remove by good English command, which highlights its huge dependence, it implies huge dependency on foreign nations for energy security.
Yes. So what are its importance? Crude oil is very important for India, and its importance is in multi-dimension. We can divide it in pastel.
These things not need to speak. Now come to the point directly. Give the framework. Even if you have framework, let's move.
Okay, pastel. Political, economic, social, technical, environmental, and legal. Okay, and similarly it has some issues, and issues are also in same like pastel. And what are the way forward? Way forward are like government schemes, national policy, and infrastructure and governance related issues. And governance means governance, administration, its management, and
what best practices?
Environment. Yes, what
so government scheme. Tell me some name of government scheme.
Government schemes like blending ethanol, blended petrol, and
BS6,
BS6,
static
Bharat stage, e-vehicle, promote e-vehicle, that the government gives subsidy for e-vehicle. Yes.
Okay, and what is the national policy surrounding oil?
HELP,
Hydrocarbon,
hydrocarbon exploration.
Does it include only oil or it include other things also? Help.
While
Exploration
of any hydrocarbon, if you found any other mineral also,
oil,
you can
gas, or
earlier
gas.
only whatever for which license you were given, you can explore, extract only those things.
I read it many times. I didn't understand what is the difference of new policy, hydrocarbon exploration policy. Earlier it was NELP, है ना? और it's like something कि कुछ ऐसा पॉइंट था कि अब जहाँ आपको मिला है वहाँ पे आपको कुछ मिलता है तो आप निकाल सकते हो. अरे ये तो होगा ही होगा.
अच्छा अच्छा
चल okay, let's move on. Technological innovation, technology upgradation, PPP, SPR. Okay, and last is coal. So India is the world's second largest importer of the coal, and it meets its 55% of the energy demand. So it shows the importance of coal in industries and nation growth. And now, what are the importance of coal is like all political, economic, social, technical, environment, legal, the geographical, regional, all it has importance in all dimensions.
In economy, where is it important?
It economy for industries, it economy for employment generation, its importance is for revenue generation for the government.
And which effect, why it is more important? Coal, because it create domino effect.
Domino effect, yes.
Okay.
There are certain issues in coal, like monopoly in coal exploration. Like earlier it was, now there is a 100% of FDI. I think in this sector privatization is there, but earlier for a very long period of time there is a monopoly. And second thing, lack of technology. We are still using old technology or non-coking grade coal. In India produce like bituminous grade, not anthracite. Next is that India need to dependence on coal import for high quality anthracite coal for its industry, that is cooking grade coal, high carbon content. And it's coal is like water polluting. It's consumed lot of water also while for transshipment there is a need to उसको water को धोना पड़ता है.
Basically pestle है ना?
हाँ, pestle, environment, legal है ना?
Okay.
That thing also.
And social, what are social issues?
Social is like the miners' health are impact and travel displacements are not properly addressed for coal mining.
So what are the way forwards?
Way forward, when it called government schemes, new hydrocarbon exploration policy, privatization, technology upgradation, infrastructure development for better coal transshipment from one place to another place, resolution of all the dispute JILA, and world government policy, government legislation है ना, MMDR, or world best practices in coal exploration. These things we can do.
Technology upgradation and single window clearance.
Single window, this is also a unique point which we can use multiple places. Single window clearance. While come resolution of disputes, and this is also a point.
Okay.
Next is what topic?
Next is investment model.
We have not done it yet. Okay. So it's whose turn it is?
You.
Why? Okay. Investment model. Investment model can be defined as the modes in
Wait a second. Do you want to tell first investment model or PPP?
I want to tell investment model. Investment model it implies that modes in which funds are invested in some projects in order to generate income.
Repeat.
Investment model implies modes by which funds are invested in a project to generate revenue or income.
Any specific asset to generate income.
The investment model can be there are multiple benefits like economic recovery or boost the productivity growth, and all its benefit like pestle. Economic benefit also there, social benefit, technological benefit, environment benefit, and geographical benefit. Its benefit is that all round development, increase income of the people, employment opportunities, and trade. Economic. Thank God we have got economic together. So we have lots of fun now when we speak about economy. Lot of. I think you should, if you revise daily these things now, or daily topics related to that, you should also revise daily that pestle also inside sub points in that. Okay. And this is the now type of investment model that India has used till now. Like Harrod Domar model, and then PC Mahalanobis model, and then PV Narasimha Rao Manmohan model. Okay. And apart from this, the type of investment models are public private, or public private and PPP. And the public is government invested, and private is like domestic and foreign, and third is domestic plus foreign.
And PPP later we will discuss.
PPP.
And what are the issues in investment models?
Investment models, they are long term in nature, long term return of investment, long term.
First, instead of telling me detailed information, you can tell me first of all. Just
yes, है ना, governance related CPRDC जेला, economy related like cost escalation, long term break-even point, and frequent renegotiations. So that is the point of PPP. But here is like lack of funds, है ना, or
an investment. What is lack of funds? कुछ भी
नहीं, it depend on PPP.
Leave option. Lack of exit option, NP increase on crony capitalism, and
yes.
pricing barrier. What do you mean by pricing variance?
Pricing variance generally if the government allow people public private sector to invest in some like road or a toll tax, so they put a pricing you can't charge toll more than this rate.
Okay, pricing
So
variance.
they are
I got
invested more, but they are not trading.
And other than this, social issues,
Social activism, protest by the people,
public
and other
activism,
investment.
social activism, public. Okay. So what are the way forwards to improve this investment model?
Investment model to improve government schemes to like single window clearance or invest India, and then government legislation, ease of doing business, digital payment or infrastructure basically, and to bring more investments, and government scheme or legislation like FDI, or the world best practices in investment, and resolution of disputes, JELA, and infrastructure development. इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए उसी वही तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करेगा तो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बेटर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फॉर
टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्शन,
टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन है ना, एंड सिंगल विंडो क्लियरेंस.
लास्ट टॉपिक
दैट इज योर्स. No, you will tell you didn't do it. Okay, then you can read it. Tell me one by one. पढ़ो बस.
ठीक है. Investment. अच्छा, you have also not done.
No, I have done very well.
Okay. So investment model. Okay. So investment model, there are PPP, public private partnership. One of the important thing whenever public private partnership comes, it comes to my mind is Vivek. What was their name?
Ramaswamy.
Vijay Kelkar.
No, you should point. The first point should come in your mind is like Delhi Metro Rail Corporation. It's the like phase 3 or airport branch.
These things and Vijay Kelkar committee also.
Okay.
Because it was established only for the PPP, to overhaul and revisiting the PPP model. Okay, Vijay Kelkar. And what were for road mean railway.
There were also you were hearing from Vijay Kelkar.
And no, there was one another person also, Vijay kuch karke. Vivek.
He is Vijay Kelkar. Railway.
हाँ.
In railway, Vivek Devroy.
Vivek Devroy.
Okay.
So Vijay Kelkar. Okay, so PPP, whenever PPP comes, so what is PPP? Long-term cooperative arrangement between the government and the private sector for the project investments. This is called PPP, है ना? And why is it important? It is important because see faith like corruption, fund.
It's important. It's positive of the advantage. It brings cooperation between government and private sector. It brings funds from the private sector.
Okay.
It brings infrastructure. It brings technology. It brings human resource or expertise. It reduces delays in implementation of project. It improves the accountability
and
of the system.
other thing also like time bound, efficient, and government control, public private government control, to protect the public interest, and risk sharing, and bring expertise and private funds. So that's why it is important. But there are some issues, like first issue is governance related, like CPRDC, JELA, and then political uncertainty, flawed project assessment, and frequent renegotiation. Okay, and pricing barrier is also one of that thing. Then private players related some issues are also there, like opportunistic behavior, performance issues, and crony capitalism. Economic issues are also there, like cost escalation, pricing barrier, NPA increase, and a long-term break-even point. And there are some social issues also, like public administration. So basically, issues are here. Only governance, economic, and social. And what are way forward? Way forward are the we can implement a recommendation of Vijay Kelkar committee, which recommend like PPP tribunals, periodic review, and optimum allocation of risk. Then FDI 100%, and then infrastructure debt fund, viability gap funding, renegotiating commission, and rating of private parties.
Rating of private parties, and what was the other?
Viability gap
funding. Okay, Vijay Kelkar committee, PPP tribunal, periodic review, optimal allocation of risk, FDI 100%, infrastructure debt fund, Indian infrastructure finance company, viability gap funding, all these things can be done. Okay, so these are finished. So Guys, the GS3 topics revision has finished and you have listened to this discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay tuned with IAS Yatri. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. So